Hey, this is Matt once again. What about another video? This is a paid request, this time from Peter. Thank you so much for that. And for those interested in requesting any type of videos, reviews, topics, reactions, commentaries, re-reviews, what have you, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both links are down below in the info box. And this is for Jet Li's film, The Master, that came out. I just don't understand, it was made in the 80s, but it took a few years to get out. I don't know why. I do know around this time, Jet Li and the director Choi Hart, they came out with the Once Upon a Time in China movies. So maybe that film had come out and was a hit, so then they released this movie or something else to that effect. I don't know. Now, what's interesting is that this is Jet Li in a modern setting, and at that time there were not a whole lot of Jet Li films that were set in the present day. I mean, there were films that were set maybe in the 50s or so, like, Born to Defense? Fist of Legend, I'm trying to remember what year that was set in. And then you had movies like Tai Chi Warrior and other stuff. But it wasn't common that Jet Li did like a movie set in the present day, and this is one of them. And Jet Li plays Jet. I know how original. Yuen Wah plays his master. Jerry Trimble, who has the craziest Billy Ray Cyrus mullet I've seen in a while, he plays the villain. And it's a pretty straightforward story. Yuen Wah owns in LA, I believe it's LA, a medicine shop, herbs, things of that nature. Jerry Trimble was a former student, and for some reason, which I don't understand, he just wants to fuck up Yuen Wah and be in control of all the schools. But you don't really get why he wants to. He just wants to because he's an asshole, I guess. Jet Li comes from China to America to visit his master, but then finds that his shop has been trashed, and he's on the lookout for him for a good chunk of the movie. Meanwhile, Yuen Wah was saved by this gymnast, and she put him up in her place, and he's recovering. Meanwhile, Jet Li is searching around the city. He doesn't really know the language. These three punks try to attack him and steal his stuff, but he chases them down, and because he does one move where one of those, not garage, but you know, one of those things that the car drives around in circle, but down to the lower levels. He gets on the thing, slides all the way down. They're so impressed. They just start bowing and go, "Please be our master. Please, Sifu, Sifu." I'm sitting there going, wow, these guys have a weird look at LA. I mean, let alone America. With the way people talk or the way people act, I'm like, I don't know which America they're in, but I don't know about three fucking punks that gang members that steal a bag, and then because they saw someone slide down, they're like, fucking start bowing. This film, at the end of the day, I thought it was okay. I didn't love the film. I definitely put Kiss of the Dragon above this. I would honestly, despite the fact I don't care for a lot of the wires work, I would put Romeo Must Die above this. I would probably put The One above this, sadly. I would put Fist of Legend above this. I mean, I don't hate it. I like it better than The Forbidden Kingdom or other stuff, but there's not a lot of fight scenes with Jet, but the few there are, they're pretty good. The fight at the end on a rooftop is fairly solid. I'll give you that. Jerry Trimble, he's got the crazy, funny, over-the-top Billy Ray Cyrus mullet. He's a kickboxing champion. I mean, the guy knows his stuff. And, you know, the movie begins with a decent fight between Yuen Wah and Jerry Trimble when they're fucking up his shop. Now, the version I saw, which I guess is not in all versions, this gymnast lady, it never explains why she's so bitchy at the beginning. Maybe I missed something. If I did, please feel free to let me know. She's watching another gymnast do a maneuver very well. Yay, good job. And out of the blue, this lady, Anna, just acts like a bitch. She trips the lady, starts to fight her, throws her. So, of course, makes sense, she's kicked out. And she's like, it's not fair. What the fuck do you mean it's not fair? You started it, bitch. You started it. That's what I mean. Did I miss something? Did I miss some kind of weird motive? Why was she so bitchy? Why was she so mean to this gymnast who didn't do a fucking thing to her? And tripping her, and pulling her hair, and fighting her, and throwing her? Why did she do it? This Anna lady. So it seems like she's a villain, but then she sees this guy, Yuen Wah, being beaten up. Now she's heroic. This I'm like, why is she bitchy, but then why is she now wanting to save this stranger? You trip over a lady and get yourself thrown out, acting like a bitch, but now you... Idea, if someone can explain to me, please do, in the comments. Please do. What did I miss? And there's stuff like that in this movie that just... Like, why are the three so impressed, like, they're ready to, you know... Just the best way I put it is, Rumble in the Bronx did this better. Because you had a guy come from China or Hong Kong, wherever, to go to America, and they know someone who has a place that's been wrecked up by punks, and in that movie, Jackie Chan protects it. And you did a bit of romance, but it's not a romance. And Rumble in the Bronx, to me, was much more satisfying, much more entertaining. In a way, it made more sense. And was much more successful. This, it's okay, but these weird things just popped in my head as I'm watching it. I mean, you started, bitch. So Billy Ray Trimble, he's wrecking up the shop. Again, you get a decent fight. The girl saves him. Jet arrives. His bag gets stolen. Did a bit of a chase. He slides down, and the three gang members start bowing, and they want to be taught. I'm like, okay, I mean, that's different. I didn't see that coming, but I didn't see that coming because I'm like, did I miss something? Did I miss some kind of thing where, like, they were fans of Kung Fu and then they see it firsthand, or no? So then the movie kind of doesn't know where it wants to go. It kind of sits there where Jet's looking for his master. He tries to find the shop. There's a girl there that stops him. And then there's a romance, but there's not a romance. But there's not one. And I'm like, well, why? Maybe it's a culture clash. I don't know. I'm like, it's a romance, but it's not a romance. It's like he doesn't really like her, it seems. At one point, he's put into the police station, and he's helping a cop feel better, and he teaches everybody how to feel better with these techniques. There's this random black guy with these dreadlocks and the gun. I didn't know who the hell he was. I'm trying to remember. They might have explained it, so forgive me for screwing that up. And then Jet and Jerry Trimble were there, and like, why is Jerry Trimble trying to help Jet Li? Because he's a bad guy. He doesn't give a fuck about anybody, but yeah, he's helping Jet Li. But I guess maybe he knows who Jet Li is, and he wants to fight him one-on-one. But at the same time, he doesn't care about fair, because at the end, he sends like 30 people to try to fight Yuen Wah, so he doesn't care about fair. So he doesn't care about fair and honor, but I probably missed a lot, but this was a movie that confused me as I'm watching it. Now, when you get Jet Li fighting, he's very fast. And that's the thing with Jet, is that he's very good with his speed. Not the drug, but he's very fast. So there's one bit where he helps out the gang members, and he's fighting some people. You get some decent moves in there. Less wire work compared to the older period piece movies. There's another bit where I mean, he has some good flips when he's avoiding the guy who's got the gun, and Jerry Trumble's helping him a little bit. He's helping him for a little bit, but then he wants to beat up Jet. There's kind of a decent bit where he's training the three Dane members, and he has these red bouncy balls, kind of the balls you would remember back in the day. You have kickball, and you have those red bouncy balls. That's what they look like, and the three guys are there for comic relief. Let's see. I don't know if the comedy worked the best in this. I'm sure they're going, idea, well, why is the bad guy doing all this? And when they find the master doesn't really want to do anything. It's like, why is the master so stuck in not helping Jed? And no, I'm not your master. I'm not this. I'm not that. I'm like, dude, what the fuck? I mean, get your head out of your fucking ass. Why is this a romance but not a romance? There's a lot of questions. You do get this really weird scene that I laughed at. I don't think I was supposed to laugh at it. On a bus where the driver gets shot by this, I think it's the same dreadlocked black guy from earlier who's got a shotgun, shoots the bus driver, and the bus driver somehow keeps the bus going even though he's dead. But, like, that worked in Universal Soldier, but it just didn't work here. But maybe I would have been fine with that. It's just the scene afterward. He's fighting the guy. And I will say, Choi Hart, he does a decent enough job with the camera work. There's a lot of swirling cameras. And, certain angles, high or low. But at the same time, Choi Hart was never one of my favorite directors of that region. I was much more into John Woo. I'd probably even give Stanley Tong a bit more because of Rumble in the Bronx and Super Cop, and maybe Jackie Chan had a big hand in that as well. But Choi Hart, I mean, what I remember him from is Double Team and Knockoff with Jean-Claude Van Damme. Now, I enjoy those movies, but they're batshit insane movies, and that's kind of why I enjoy them. But they're not in my top 10 Van Damme films. They have their issues. Dennis Rodman. Especially, Knockoff is one of the few films I could deal with Rob Schneider in, funny enough. I could actually deal with him in that movie. But again, those felt like Van Damme wanted to be like Jackie Chan, especially Knockoff. Like, if you want to see Van Damme try to be Jackie Chan, Knockoff seems to be that movie. That was also in some of his drug phase, because I think Van Damme has said he doesn't remember making Knockoff at all. He doesn't remember making the movie. That's how drugged up he was. But those are insane movies, and again, they're fun for that. I enjoy them. I do enjoy them. But Choi Hart, I know he was called like the Steven Spielberg of Asia, but I guess I was more into John Woo. Ringo Lam I would put above because I like Maximum Risk and In Hell. What was the Replicant? I would put John Woo and Ringo Lam above Choi Hart. I don't think Choi Hart is an awful director. It's just he's not my favorite. Oh, I was thinking of him because there's certain times where the camera swirls and certain aspects. Oh, the scene I was talking about on the bus. Jet Li fights this guy. I don't know how to explain this. He turns the shotgun, and the bad guy 5 times. Like, there's the wall of the bus, here's the shotgun, and here's the bad guy. Like, imagine this is the shotgun, the wall, the bad guy. Okay, and no, this way, because the shotgun's pointing at the bad guy, and the bad guy's how do I explain? He has a shotgun. Okay, imagine this is the bad guy. I don't know, fuck it. He's turned the shotgun on himself and hit the wall once, 2, 3, 4. The shotgun pumps as he keeps hitting the wall, and he shoots himself 5 fucking times in the chest. I went, what the fuck happened? What the fuck happened? I mean, it was entertaining, but what the fuck? I laughed, but I don't think I was supposed to laugh. 5 fucking times. I mean, not even just once. It looked ridiculous one time, but 5 times? Now, I will say it was a short enough film. I like Jet Li. Yeah, Jackie Chan has more personality with the comedy. But Jet Li, like I said, I liked his quickness. I liked how fast he is. He's a very talented martial artist. And, like I said, I love Kiss of the Dragon. That's my favorite of his. I even like Cradle to the Grave. But it was nice to see him. It was nice to see in a modern setting, because that's just my preference. There are films, period piece movies that I do like, but I just prefer a present setting, just my cup of tea. And the finale's fun. You know, the finale, Jet Li beats a lot of motherfuckers, the camera's swirling around, cool fight with Jerry Trumbull where they're on the roof, then they fall through the roof, and then at one point Jet Li's foot is stuck in this valve, he has to fight on one foot, and then at times they have to avoid this glass. At one point Jet Li gets a big glass in his shoulder, or his arm I should say, and then Jerry Trumbull gets a piece of glass in his foot. And then there's like this crazy good stunt where they jump out the window and they're on this falling sign and they're outside and they're fighting each other there. That's a cool set piece. So then it comes to your judgment of if that's worth the movie or not. If you see it for a cheap rental price, sure. I mean, the rest of the film you may enjoy more than me. More on like there's some entertaining moments, but again, kind of laughable moments. It's a bit goofy and cartoonish. I think Rumble in the Bronx did this kind of thing better. Or even, you know, Kiss of the Dragon. But, hey, you want to see Jerry Trumbull in a crazy mullet that's his own character. You want to see Jet Li in the present time. A little bit of comedy, a little bit of fighting. You want to see a pretty good fight at the end. But the movie isn't too long to overstay its welcome. Just, there might be quite a few questions that kind of come to your head, though, while watching it. I believe 88 Films released this. I believe that was the case. I don't know in the U.S. I remember back in the day it had a very kind of blasé cover. Jet Li the Master, just a picture of Jet Li. I didn't hate the film. I had a decent enough time watching it. I don't think this... I probably, if I ever watch it again, I would just watch the end fight on YouTube or something. But other than that, take it for what you will. Thanks for watching. We'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.